What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the Fire Grind. On this channel we talk about personal finance and we have a focus in investing in the stock market. And in today's video I'm going to talk about my theory on how retail investors have helped fuel the recent market rally. So if we go into this article showing that unemployment rate in the United States is around 13.3%, it may be even up to 5 percentage points higher. I actually saw an article earlier last week saying that the unemployment numbers are actually off. The real percentage is more like around 16%. So basically 16% of Americans are unemployed right now. And basically for these people who are sitting at home doing nothing, can't go out, what better thing to do than invest in the stock market with your stimulus check? Or if you're in Canada, you're going to use your CERB or EI checks to invest in the stock market. And stock market investing has never been so easy as today. With the emergence of all these $0 commission fee apps like Robinhood, M1 Finance, Webull, and WealthSimple Trade for Canada, people can easily get into the stock market with as little as $10. They can start buying stocks. But I think most people probably enter the market with at least a couple thousand just because these are working people, they've saved up some money, or they're getting money from these stimulus checks. So with this unemployment number, let's just jump over to some YouTubers that I actually watch and see their view count, which kind of supports my theory as to how there's a lot more new investors in the market and this is fueling the whole market rally. So if we go into one of the first channels I started following, the financial education channel, so Jeremy from the channel currently has about 503,000 subscribers. But if we go down to his growth on his channel, we can see that his weekly subscriber gain was in around 2,000 subscribers per week for a good couple of years. But then all of a sudden in March and April it just shot up dramatically to 9,000 subscribers in a single week. And if we look at the weekly video views that he's gained, it used to be around 200,000 or so, and now it's at 650,000 at the peak. So he's basically threefold his number of views per week. Now if we jump over to a recent guy that I started following, Chicken Genius Singapore, he has a very interesting channel and I kind of like his take on Tesla stock, so I started watching him. But if you see his channel growth, you can see there's a huge spike in subscribers gained in a single week. He gained 27,870 subscribers in one single week. And the week before that, he was only gaining around 1,600 subscribers. In that week, he also gained 666,000 views. Maybe he should be called the evil chicken genius. But nonetheless, he gained a lot of views from that single week. And ever since then, his channel has petered off, but still sits at around 200,000 views per week, which is pretty good for a guy who used to only get around 40,000 views per week. And if you look at his total subscriber growth, he was at around 5,280 subscribers on March 13th, and today he's at 103,000 subscribers. And his views were around 234,000 views, whereas today his views are at 3.8 million views, or 3.9 almost. Now if we look at my channel and how it's grown, I started in January this year, and the growth has been actually quite beyond my expectations. I was expecting to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year, but I guess this whole pandemic fueled it with everyone rushing into the stock market. We can see that my subscriber count picked up in the month of April, and it has continued to grow to this date. So for those of you who are subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel and continuing watching my videos. And if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to my channel, as I really want to teach you guys how to invest in the stock market and things that I look for in the news to help me make informed decisions when I go and put my money into a business. So going back to the initial article that I showed you with the unemployment rate, we can actually see if we search in the article for 3 million accounts added so far this year to the brokerage Robinhood. So just for context of how much this actually is, if we go back to Robinhood's history when they started in 2013, it took them 5 whole years to gain 3 million users. However, this article here reports that as of May 4th, basically in 4 months, they've gained 3 million accounts. So what took them 5 years to do from the beginning of Robinhood, it took them 4 months to do that at the beginning of this year. So there's a huge adoption of people entering and flooding money into the stock market. And although, these people who are signing up for Robinhood, they probably don't have crazy high accounts like in the $200,000 range, they maybe have $1,000 or $2,000 to invest. So with 3 million accounts and an average account size of maybe $1,000 to $2,000, we're looking at around $6 billion flooding into the markets. But in the grand scheme of all things, the US stock market is worth roughly around $42 trillion last time I checked. So $3 to $6 billion is a drop in the bucket. But Robinhood investors are having a wider impact than just their dollars being put in. People who are investing right now in Robinhood are probably talking with their friends online or on Zoom calls saying how they've invested in the stock market. And their friends might actually be part of the financial world in managing money. And from them hearing this and seeing all these statistics of new investors getting into the market, they were probably more of the early investors who started pumping up the market at the beginning. And as well, we know the Fed's also pumping the market too. So it's not just Robinhood investors, but I do think Robinhood investors are influencing those in the financial community to continue investing into the economy. And not only are people being influenced by Robinhood investors, algorithms are as well. We can see the statement made here that market-making algorithms only know the recent past. So they're seeing higher order volumes with these new influx of Robinhood investors, especially people investing in fractional shares. I don't know if the algorithms actually know the number of shares in each order, but they can see the number of orders out there. And with fractional shares out there especially, people are making a lot of small trades here and there. And algorithms are going to pick up on this higher volume in terms of the number of trades out there and see this as a bullish pattern to continue buying. So this is likely another factor that's fueling the stock market right now. But one thing, if you're a new investor into the market, you really have to understand that you need to do your research when you're investing. You can't just buy into stocks that are all hype. For example, I believe Nikola is a huge hype stock right now. And if you don't believe me, check out my previous video on Nikola. And also another stock like Hertz. Hertz actually declared bankruptcy on the 26th of May. And this is when they saw their stock fall from $2.84 all the way down to 56 cents. And if we go over to the Robintrack app online, we can see here, when it was around 55 cents, there are about 444,000 Robinhood users that are holding this stock. But if we look at it today, there are about 170,000 Robinhood users who are holding Hertz stocks. And 110,000 of these users bought in at a price point a little higher than $2.67. So most of these people are either break even or at a loss right now. So that's more than half the number of Robinhood users who are losing on Hertz right now. And they believe that Hertz will go back up to its highs of around $20 per share, because if a stock falls that much, they must be able to get back up there because they've done it before. But they don't realize that Hertz is going bankrupt. In a stock that goes bankrupt, the shareholders lose everything. So if you're a retail investor in the market right now and you're seeing the market at all-time highs, just be wary when you're putting your money into the market, because it's very possible that we could see another downturn. And the first signs of this was, this past Thursday when we saw a 7% decline in the Dow Jones. So you see that 7% decline right around here where I'm highlighting on the screen right now. And this was because the total number of COVID cases in the United States actually reached around 2 million cases total. And 1 million of those cases happened in the past 6 weeks. So the virus is still growing fairly exponentially in the United States. And as the economy is opening up in the United States, this virus is bound to grow quicker. And just for context, 2 million cases means that almost 1% of the entire population of America has been infected. Maybe in the next couple of weeks, we'll see that number hit 3 million. At that point, I believe the population in the United States is somewhere around 300 million people. So we'll have a 1% infection rate. And if this virus is growing at exponential rates, who knows, we could see 10%, especially with everything opening up, people coming back together and gathering for different things, whether that's in the workplaces, at restaurants, in shopping malls, you name it. This virus could continue to go viral. So if you're invested in the market right now, I definitely encourage you to look at the stocks that are huge gainers, or those maybe who you've lost a lot on, like Hertz, for example. Definitely sell out of that right now, because that business is not going to recover. The government's not going to bail them out. Be smart with your money and be smart with what you're investing in. Dig into the fundamentals of a company and understand the business and why you're bullish on it for the long term. Don't invest into a company based off a tweet or just a random YouTuber saying you should buy the stock without giving any sort of substantial information as to why he or she is buying the company. If you enjoyed this video, smash that thumbs up button. If you learned a little bit about the market and how the market's moved, and maybe you're a new user in Robinhood or WealthSimple Trade and you've moved the market, let me know down in the comments down below. And I know that for me, I've seen a lot of people sign up for WealthSimple Trade recently. I've actually seen more than 40 referrals come in the past couple of months. So clearly there is a lot of interest in investing right now. So with your money, be careful, as I said before. Consider subscribing to my channel as I continue teaching you about the stock market and how I value companies and businesses. And one of my next videos is actually going to be analysis on Lightspeed. So pay careful attention into that and what I look for in finding a winning business. Even though this business currently is not making money, I do believe they have strong financials that can help them weather the storm and take them to new heights and eventually profitability, assuming we get out of this storm. And I do believe we will eventually get a vaccine, but the question is when. Keep up the grind and have a great day.